I think she's not playing a game. She's just being there and she's being herself, which is commendable. It's difficult to be in a space like that
True.
and still be yourself. She and Abdu both are giving you a very fresh perspective to this show, which is very nice to see. It was a beautiful journey. The story of Aryan Singh Rathore and Imlie together. It was a wonderful journey, and it was a wonderful story, Sean. I'm glad that it came to an end at the point that it did. If it did actually extend it maybe from that point, then it would have ended up saying, यार पिछले
नहीं अच्छा लग
जो
रहा है.
मजा आ रहा था ना अब तक जो मजा आ रहा था वो मजा नहीं आ रहा अब शो में. शायद उस पॉइंट पे पहुंच जाता अगर हम और इसको खींचते तो. द वेरी लिरिक्स ऑफ इट वेयर इट वाज, तेरे उठने से पहले तुझे चाय भी पिला दूं, अपने हाथों से तुझे आलू के पराठे भी खिला दूं. It sounded very today. That's how I would like to treat the girl that I am with. मैंने कहा कि मैं कर लूं. उसने कहा हाँ कर ले. तो मुझे इमीडिएटली क्लिक हुआ कि मैंने कहा मैं और सुमुल कर लेते हैं इसको साथ में. तो उन्होंने कहा हाँ कर लो. तो अब ये प्रॉब्लम थी कि हम लोग शूट जो कर रहे थे, लीड हमारा रेगुलरली 12-16 घंटे का दिन भर का काम होता है. तो मैंने कहा अभी डेट्स निकालने पड़ेंगे इसके लिए. तो मैं अगले दिन सुबुल से मिला सेट पे. तो मैंने उसको कहा कि हम लोग ताबिश का एक वीडियो कर रहे हैं, म्यूजिक वीडियो. तो उसने कहा क्या है. मैंने कहा हम लोग ताबिश का म्यूजिक वीडियो कर रहे हैं. कि अच्छा ठीक है कर लेंगे.
Hi, my name is Zinia, and you're watching News 18 SHOWSHA. Today we have with us none other than Fahmaan Khan, who recently made heads turn in Imlie, and also he debuted with his music video Ishq Ho Gaya. And now Fahmaan is with us.
Directorial debut.
डायरेक्टोरियल डेब्यू.
डायरेक्टोरियल डेब्यू विद इश्क हो गया.
पहला क्वेश्चन तो यही होता है, कैसे ये डायरेक्टोरियल डेब्यू हुआ?
यार बड़ा ही चांस के साथ हुआ है. चांस भी नहीं बोल सकता मैं. It's a funny story.
Okay.
Tabish is a very good friend of mine.
Okay.
And Tabish is a very old friend of mine. We started off together, and Tabish was an actor before he found out that he could sing. So we started off giving auditions a long time ago, 2014, I think. But eventually he got to understand that he was a good singer and he could make his own singles. So he did come up with a lot of singles that became a lot of that made a lot of name for him. There were a lot of hits in that. इश्क हो गया तो मुझे 3 साल पहले सुनाया गया था उसने सुनाया था मुझे 3 साल पहले. ऐसे ही रैंडमली हम लोग जैम कर रहे थे यहाँ पे, एंड that's when he just played that song and he started off, and then I really loved that song. I found it very intriguing. I found it very today's song, very real. The very lyrics of it where it was, तेरे उठने से पहले तुझे चाय भी पिला दूं, अपने हाथों से तुझे आलू के पराठे भी खिला दूं. It sounded very today. That's how I would like to treat the girl that I am with, kind of a thing. So eventually what happened was, time went by and he made a lot of things, made a lot of music before and after that. बट दिस ये रह गया था काफी समय तक. तो रिसेंटली जब हम लोग बैठे थे, इमली शो खत्म होने के 1 हफ्ते 1.5 हफ्ते पहले की बात है ये. तो हम लोग ऐसे ही बैठे थे. मैंने उसको बोला था, मैंने कहा वो गाना सुना दे अपना, वो जो चाय वाला जो गाना है. तो उसने वो सुनाया मुझे. मैंने उसको पूछा उस वक्त कि मैं इस गाने के बारे में तुम कर क्यों नहीं रहा है कुछ. तो उसने कहा यार बहुत सारे लोगों से मिला हूँ मैं चाहता हूँ कि ये गाना ओरिजिनल जैसा है वैसे ही रहे. बहुत लोगों ने उसको चेंज करने की बातें की, कॉन्सेप्ट चेंज करने की बातें की, लिरिक्स थोड़ा बहुत चेंज करने के लिए मुझे कहा गया. तो उसने कहा कि मैंने मना कर दिया उस चीज को. तो मैं सोच रहा हूँ कि क्या करूँ. To me, after the journey that I've been through, I was fortunate enough that I was in a position that I could say that I could do it myself. I didn't want to do it before when I was nothing, when I didn't make a name for myself. Now I knew that I could make this video. A possibility was that I could bring in a lot of audience to watch this because of the little bit of fame that I have. So मैंने कहा कि मैं कर लूं. उसने कहा हाँ कर ले. तो मुझे इमीडिएटली क्लिक हुआ कि मैंने कहा मैं और सुमुल कर लेते हैं इसको साथ में. तो उन्होंने कहा हाँ कर लो. तो अब ये प्रॉब्लम थी कि हम लोग शूट जो कर रहे थे, लीड हमारा रेगुलरली 12-16 घंटे का दिन भर का काम होता है. तो मैंने कहा अभी डेट्स निकालने पड़ेंगे इसके लिए. तो मैं अगले दिन सुबुल से मिला सेट पे. तो मैंने उसको कहा कि हम लोग ताबिश का एक वीडियो कर रहे हैं, म्यूजिक वीडियो. तो उसने कहा क्या है. मैंने कहा हम लोग ताबिश का म्यूजिक वीडियो कर रहे हैं. कि अच्छा ठीक है कर लेंगे. तो मैंने उसको गाना सुनाया, उसको बहुत पसंद आया गाना. तो तब से लेके अगले 10 दिन तक मेरे दिमाग में गाना प्ले होता था और मुझे पता नहीं कैसे मुझे स्टोरी अपने आप आती गई.
वाओ.
It happened very organically with me. The story kept coming to me, uh, scene by scene, shot by shot. It kept coming to me, and eventually I had the entire story in my mind.
Wow.
तो मैंने ताबिश को सुनाया ये स्टोरी, और उसने कहा कि बहुत बढ़िया है, हम लोग शूट कर लेंगे। उसने तब रेडी किया, उसने, मैंने कहा लोकेशंस ये होंगे, प्रॉप्स ये होंगे, चीजें ये होंगी। उसने कहा चलो ठीक है, बढ़िया। अब उसके दिमाग में ये था कि डायरेक्ट मैं कर लूंगा, मुझे नहीं पता था, मुझे लगा कि स्टोरी बता रही तुझे,
हाँ,
तू डायरेक्शन
हो
डायरेक्शन
गया
देख ले,
तो
संभाल ले अपने तरीके से। तो ये मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग बिकेम अ ब्लेसिंग इन डिसगाइज।
and this does not look like a music video that's coming from a first-time director, if I may say so.
Thank you for that. Thank you so much for that. I'm glad to hear that.
And the one of the best things about the music video is जैसे आपने बोला कि आप खुद भी वैसे इंसान हो जो जैसा लिरिक्स है, you would want to treat your girl like that. यार आप किसी को
Right.
आलू के पराठे के साथ अगर जगाओगे, आई थिंक बस वहीं पे दिल
वो
तो
पट ही जाएगी।
हाँ हाँ पक्का
वो
आलू
तो पिघल ही जाएगी।
हाँ वहीं पे अगर
हाँ,
सच
फ्लैट
भी हो
आउट।
कोई वो पिघल जाएगी।
सही बात।
And one of the best things about the music video, again, one of the best things about Imlie and now about this music video was your chemistry with Sumbul. And जैसा अर्जुन
Right.
बिजलानी ने कमेंट किया था आपके फोटो में, शादी का कार्ड कब भेज रहे हो आप?
एक काम करो, शादी का कार्ड खुद बना दो, मुझे भिजवा दो।
अच्छा
मैं बांट
ऐसा
दूंगा लोगों
करना
में, ठीक है?
होगा, बताओ।
हाँ, मैं बंटवा दूंगा लोगों में।
So were you offered Big Boss and why, like कोई वजह थी कि आपने ना बोला, या are we going to see you as a wild card contestant later?
No, I was offered Bigg Boss quite a bit, but then I believe that I'm that kind of a person who cannot sit around in one house. I'm telling you, I adore the fact that people can actually be able to do that. I mean, I've seen people get into a lot of arguments, a lot of fits, and a lot of amazing, intense arguments with each other, and then after 15-20 minutes be okay with each other.
हाँ,
मेरा ये होता है कि एक आर्गुमेंट हो जाए मेरी, तो मेरे लिए वो इंसान के लिए खत्म है। I
okay.
cannot talk to that person after that.
And you know, Sumbul has been playing and she has got a lot of support because I think both your fandom and Sumbul's fandom are supporting her.
Right.
And have you seen her game so far?
I've been watching it, to be very honest. I'm watching it for the first time, not because of any reason, but because I've been busy a lot lately. And so I've watched it for the first time. I don't understand the game, to be honest. Like I said, I'm also not a person who can play mindful games. I'm not a manipulative person. I cannot play games in terms of how to plan out a day in my life and how to get rid of people who are not right for me over there. So I don't understand the game as such.
Okay.
But I think she's not playing a game. She's just being there and she's being herself. Which is commendable. It's difficult to be in a space like that and still be yourself. She and Abdu both are giving you a very fresh perspective to this show, which is very nice to see.
And you know, they both she and Abdu has got good support right from the beginning. I mean, it's been what 9 or 10 days maybe inside the house, but they're playing really well.
I believe as an actor, you have to play your character right. The limelight is it's consequence. If it goes, that you can never predict that.
True.
I think if you can play who you are, like this Bigg Boss needs someone to play who you are and be who you are. Whereas it's somewhere close to being an actor on set and playing a character also. It's just being honest to that person that you are being, right? And I think that's what retaliates and that's what gives you the limelight. If it doesn't, also it doesn't matter as long as you're doing justice to what you're being. And I think that's what is important, and that's what's happening.
Yeah. And going back to Imlie, you know, the news that both you and Sumbul would be quitting Imlie shocked so many of us because let's be honest, there's also a lot of audience who had been watching the show because of both of you and because of the performance that both of you had been delivering. So how did this happen and like how is it panning out? क्या हुआ? क्यों हुआ? अभी क्या चल रहा है? And how is everything? How's the situation?
It was a beautiful journey. The story of Aryan Singh Rathore and Imlie together. It was a wonderful journey, and it was a wonderful story, Sean. I'm glad that it came to an end, at the point that it did,
Okay.
because I believe that once a story that is that you start off within your head, if that finishes and then you start to drag a little more, then it might get a little more draggy than it's supposed to. Then the actual heart of the story is over. Then there is nothing more for you to show actually, and you start showing a little more draggy stories, which I think didn't happen with the show, and I'm glad that the makers have made the decision that they did.
Okay.
Because of the fact that देखो एक कहानी शुरू एक कहानी की शुरुआत होती है और उसका अंत भी होना चाहिए. Only then will you get closure on that story.
True.
And I think this show got that closure. Okay. Both the characters got that closure, and it was a beautiful story. I also believe one more thing. There's a saying, not a saying, but a thing that Harvey Dent said in The Dark Knight. He says either you die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. I think that works really well in my head for a lot of things in life. Everything good that has to come to an end has to come to an end because it's good.
Wow.
Right? So I think that's how it is. And when we sat down, Gul and Imlie and I, when we sat down and we spoke, we understood that now the actual heart of the story is over. And if we drag this a little more, we might end up not being liked as much as we did before. I don't want to end up with the audience saying, "यार मजा आता था पहले देखने में, अभी अच्छा नहीं लग रहा, अभी उतना मजा नहीं आ रहा." उसमें उस चीज में कोई मजा नहीं है.
True.
So why not move on and show you a better progression of the story that can come in with a more fresh idea, a more fresh face. And that's what the plan was, and that's how it ended up being also.
Well, one of the complaints also with Hindi TV serials is that it's dragged for too long. But then again, when it stopped, then also we complain कि यार खत्म क्यों करते हैं?
So खत्म क्यों हो गया?
I think it's with the audience that we have to understand.
Perspective.
We have to come
People
to terms.
Keep changing. You have to come to terms with it. You have to accept it. Like as much as I could, I did explain this to a lot of my audience, a lot of my fans, who were very disappointed. The main reason of coming out with Ishq Ho Gaya at that point also was for them to get diverted from that issue. I really did want that because I interact with them on a very personal level. I'm there with my fans for a lot of things. I do interact with them on a personal level, so I know how disappointing and how difficult it must have been for them to go through whatever that process was, and to see a death of a character that you love so much is going to be very difficult. So on the day of the last telecast of Imlie with us was the day I released the poster of Ishq Ho Gaya. So that diversion was very beautifully done, I think,
and very necessary. Have that diversion. Yes.
Right.
Okay. And what's next for Fahmaan Khan?
I'm working on a few things. There have been talks for a few things happening. Nothing's confirmed yet.
Okay.
But I went after I finished the show, after I finished the promotions of Ishq Ho Gaya, I went to Goa and I stayed there for a good 12 days.
Wow.
Didn't answer any calls. No, yeah, I took a break. I needed that. I took a decent break. And I came back about 5 days back. So as soon as I came back, I called my manager and I said, "Kya batao jaldi." So since then, the work has been started. Since then, I've been meeting people, a lot of stories being told to me. I've been hearing a lot of stories. And let's see. I'm not confirmed on anything yet. There are talks for a lot of things happening. Once it is, I'll confirm whatever it is.
And we would be eagerly waiting to know कि क्या आ रहा है, because fans are तो going crazy. देखना है उनको.
हाँ यही वही तो मैं उनके वो कमेंट्स और उनके ट्वीट्स और उसके मैसेजेस के बाद मुझे कभी ना कभी बीच में, क्योंकि आई डोंट टेक पिक्चर्स अ लॉट. I don't post pictures a lot. I'm very shy with pictures, to be very honest. I'm not a photograph person. I'm not a still photograph person. I'm more of a video person. You give me a video and I'm completely free. जैसे ही कैमरा तुम स्टिल बना दोगे तो मैं कॉन्शियस हो जाता हूँ मैं कैसे खड़ा हूँ. So I'm very like that. So still I still try and post a picture or two a day. Not picture or two a day, but one picture every 2-3 days. So that they know that I'm still here, I'm not gone. Which I think is important, yeah.
Okay. And Fahmaan, you have worked in serials, you have worked in a web series, if I'm not mistaken. So you are there. But You know, one of the things that has been in discussion recently because of Big Boss again was a comment made by one of the contestants कि तुम सिर्फ TV actor हो. So
हाँ
there is this bias that works a lot of times for TV actors कि यार ये TV actor है मतलब इसको एक ही format शायद आता होगा. And a lot of actors that I have talked to, they have said that when they have tried for Bollywood or maybe even for OTT, they have faced this bias. ये discrimination हुआ है उनके साथ. ये कभी आपने क्या face किया है या कभी उस टाइप का कोई कमेंट आया है कि यार आप तो टीवी एक्टर हो ऐसा है, या कोई like a particular chain of thought or a chain of stereotyping a TV actor? Have you faced that?
राइट देखो पहली बात तो it's two different stories. One, what is happening in Big Boss, what that comment was made.
Mhm.
That's a very I think instinctive, very impulsive, anger-oriented reaction to what someone was doing to someone, and then
Yeah.
that entire thing happened on a very impulsive space. Um, but at the end of the day, you're doing TV, right? You're in a television show. So जो भी आपने कहा वो खत्म हो गई बात.
हाँ.
You ended up there. You ended up there eventually, and that's what you're doing right now. You're all on television show. People are watching only on television. Nobody's watching in the theater right now. So there's no point in that conversation at all. But other than that, the fact that I have done web series in my career up till now, and I've been part of a couple of films, I did a background. I did Three Idiots and I did Talash, and I was there in the background. I was one of the students in Three Idiots, and I
Oh.
was there in Talash and a lot of scenes there. But that was as the background actor. But I believe that if you're good in your work, there's no stereotyping. I'll give you a small example. When I was doing Apna Time Pe Aayega, Vaibhav Singh was directing the show. There were a lot of times he used to tell the people around me while we were working. I'm not boasting about this, but this is what he said. This is what the words he
Hmm.
used. He says, ये film का actor है, तो थोड़ा मेरे को थोड़ा OTT देना. He used to tell me. तो आई टू टेल हिम कि सर मुझसे होगा नहीं वो चीज, मैं यही दे पाऊंगा यहाँ पे. तो व्हेन यू कैन वर्क लाइक दैट, आई थिंक इट्स वेरी सब्जेक्टिव. The thought of being TV actor is very subjective because I've done both. I've done OTT and I've done television. There's no difference in anything. To be honest, it's more difficult to do a television show than to do an
True,
OTT show.
because there's a
Because with an
lot of
OTT,
commitment
there's
and
a lot of
longer
commitment. More
schedule.
than that, you're doing scenes right there. हम लोग सेट पे बैठे रहते थे, गर्मा गर्म हम लोग को पेपर आता था, 3-4 पेज 5 पेज का सीन, जहाँ पे आपको सीन तो लाइंस तो दूर की बात है, आपको सीन करना है, आपको परफॉर्म करना है. तो if you perform there and you do well there, touch wood, I've been appreciated for the work that I do, which I'm glad about. That's what I wanted in my life. Uh, since you can do that, then I think the OTT platform becomes a little more easier. Having said that, I would also say that it's more organized. There's more time for you to prepare for an entire show. There's an entire script in your hand. I had the entire show's script in my hand, and we were working on that throughout 2 months, 2.5 months to get to the final shoot location.
Okay.
But in television, it's a little more different. It's a little more different. The scenes are given to you in the morning, and you perform those scenes in the during the day, and you finish like 5 to 6 scenes a day.
So
Staying 5 to 6 scenes a day is a big thing to actually do and actually be able to perform. So that, and also I think this is the most hardworking medium of entertainment.
absolutely.
Television acting is the most hardworking, most strenuous medium of acting, where you're completely physically and mentally drained by the end of the day every day for 1 year, every day.
True. और
It's
छुट्टी
non-stop.
भी नहीं ले सकते क्योंकि
It's
ट्रैक
non-stop.
फिर बीच
Because
में आ जाएगा.
6 दिन का आपका टेलीकास्ट है,
हाँ.
अब कहाँ छुट्टी लोगे? You have to churn out 22 minutes a day. So if an actor can perform very genuinely in that space, I think that actor can perform in any space and do well. So this
Absolutely.
stereotype of TV actor hai, ye hai, wo hai, I think it's in the past now. It's no more in the present. People don't see you like that. आज हम लोग television actors को भी एक 50 इंच की टीवी पे देखते हैं, तो वो खत्म हो गई बात ना. हम पहले छोटे से डब्बे में देखते थे तो हमें लगता था कि टेलीविजन एक्टर है वो फिल्म एक्टर है जो बड़े पर्दे पे देखते हैं हम, लेकिन आज तो घरों पे बड़े पर्दे हैं. तो लोग
And
टेलीविजन भी बड़े पर्दे पे ही देख रहे हैं.
I think with OTT and with films releasing in OTT space, तो वही हो गया है. It's
It's
a
become the same
laptop or
thing.
a
It's
हाँ,
become the same thing.
it's become the same. Absolutely
Whereas I believe that I'm being seen more than the rest of them.
true because आप आते थे 6 दिन. Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
I'm being seen more than Ranbir Kapoor today.
नहीं, सही बात है. And the
It's a very
popularity
genuine
also,
thing to say.
you become a household name because of your performance and because of how
Right,
frequently people
right,
are seeing you and people connect to you. उनका एक वो
right.
पर्सनल कनेक्ट आ जाता है कि
Personal
हाँ,
connection हो जाता है.
इसके लाइफ में जो हो रहा है वो मेरी लाइफ की भी प्रॉब्लम है, मुझे देखना है कि वो सॉर्ट हुआ है या नहीं. That's
Correct.
what goes on when we see a TV serial. हम काफी बात करते हैं इस बारे में that life is easier for you if you had anybody working in TV or films before you. Your brother was an actor, and did you ever find anything easy because your brother was an actor?
Not at all. One thing was he was a very strong-headed person. He didn't believe in any kind of support. He believed that if you were made for it, you will do it yourself. He used to tell me the most harsh reality about the industry, which either scared you or it gave you a challenge, and I took it as a challenge. And he also said in that bit, that very small bit, that I was not made for that industry, you are. After saying all the harsh realities of it, he used to also say this. There was never a time that I took up his contact or called any of his friends and asked them if I could work with them or if they could introduce me to anybody. I never did that because I believe that I wanted to do it myself. I want to feel proud today, saying that whatever I have done till now is on me. I always wanted that, and I'm glad to have done that. Today, I feel completely proud about the fact that it has been me who has come here, done all the work myself, taken all the hardship myself, taken all the falls myself, picked myself up, dusted myself off. I'm gone again to do something every day, and I'm still continuing to do that. So I believe I've been here on the merit, and I think everybody can do that in whatever field they choose to be in. If you can get to doing that hard work on an everyday basis, I think you can turn out the best in you, and you can get the best results eventually. But that time frame that you give yourself of doing the real hard work on the ground with falling and picking yourself up, dusting yourself off, and again going and doing the same thing every day, I think that is very important, and you have to be honest with yourself over there.
Absolutely. I think honesty with oneself is the key here. You have to
Very important.
yourself. Yeah.
You have to be true to yourself. You can't lie to yourself. The biggest mistake you can make in life is to lie to yourself. No matter what, good, bad, ugly, you're doing the worst thing possible in life. You might be a person who's completely manipulating anybody, but be true to yourself about it. Tell yourself that you're doing it every day and be okay with it. Live with it. Try and sleep with it. If it's possible for you to sleep with it, then well and good. You're doing a great job. You're living life.
Wow, that's a great thought. And Fahmaan, before we let you go, I have to also know this. आपने बोला कि जब आप टीवी करते हो तो 16 घंटा 14 to 16 hours is something that you have to give to TV, तो
Right.
वो 14-16 hours के बाद and then doing everything, your basic things like having food, sleeping, how do you stay fit?
You have to work out a great diet. A diet that can help you stay fit. And see, also you're physically doing everything every day, right? So your physical activity is there during the day. In that 14 to 16 hours, that 12 to 14 hours, basically, you're physically active in a lot of ways, on a lot of senses. You might be sitting down in your room in a very maybe the 2 hours in that day, but the rest of the time you're actually working on a physical basis. So the physical activity is done. But what is important is for you to maintain a diet, which I do.
Okay.
You cannot do it for a good 1 year together. So you do it for 1.5 months, 2 months, and you let go of yourself for 15 days. That's what I do. I give myself that 15-day break where I say कि ना अपने 15 दिन के लिए मजे करूंगा, थोड़ा खाऊंगा. तो जैसे ही मुझे पता लगने लगता है कि मैं थोड़ा फैलने लगा हूँ, that's when I hold myself back and get into the diet again. I follow a decent protein diet, low carb diet. and I eat a lot of vegetables. I have a lot of juices. I have a lot of carrot juices, beetroot juice, yeah, orange juices, a lot of fresh juices every day. Uh, my omelette is fixed for the morning.
Wow.
So routine, I think a diet routine is very important if you're doing something like this, and it's very important for you to hold back. What happens sometimes also in the process is that you lose a lot of immunity. I wouldn't. You can't take that away from this. You lose immunity because you're not giving ample amount of rest to your body in
Huh.
that process. Well, if you're giving yourself protein on a daily basis as much as I do, and giving yourself low carb, then initially there's a point where your energy might be a little lesser than a normal person's energy, because carbs is what drives energy from your body. So you have to give yourself ample amount of rest. Sometimes what happens is immunity takes a hit. For that immunity, you'll have to work on a lot of other things, like booster juices and a lot of
Huh.
juices that come in. You have spinach juices, you have all of these things that build up your immunity. So you'll have to understand this, go through it, and figure a way out, and figure what's right for your body also. It's very important for you to understand what your body is made of, how your body type is, and what your body accepts, what it denies. That's how you work it out for yourself, and that's what I do on a daily basis.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much, Fahmaan, for joining with News
Most
18
welcome.
Shosha. This was such a great conversation, man.
Thank you so much. I'm glad I spoke to you. I think I had a good conversation.
Yes, absolutely. And I would definitely want to catch up with you sometime soon again. Once you say yes to
Sure.
anything, I would love to talk to you again.
Done.
Done.
Sounds good. We'll do that.
Yes. Please take care and thank you so much for
You too.
your time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Take care.